What's up, guys? It's your girl Kia, and I'm back for another video. We are going to continue to stay here in the office. I'm going to try not to torture you guys with too much car stuff, but we're back and we're reviewing another Real Housewives show. And again, I'm not reviewing full shows. I'm reviewing things that caught my eye, caught my attention, caught my concern. And this week we're talking about Brynn Whitfield from the Real Housewives of New York City. So the Real Housewives of New York City is in its 15th year. It's the second season of the new installment. They got rid of all the legends, and a lot of people are feeling a certain way about no legend being on the show. But I mean, I like it. I think it's a good show. I think it represents New York more. I think it's more in line to real, not so much realistic New York, but a New York that is more fun, more hip. Yeah, women from all walks of life, all pretty well off. And it's an interesting show. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are making comments about it. You don't like it, don't watch it. That's your business. Do I think this iteration is going to stay on for a long time? Probably not. They probably get two more seasons of it like this before they just, say New York is done. But one of the stars of the show has been in hot water recently, and that's Brynn Whitfield. And listen, I am not a Brynn fan at all. And the reason why has nothing to do with what she said, even though what she said that we're going to talk about was a cherry on top for me. I'm not a fan of Brynn because Brynn leads with her sexuality way too much. Imagine it's like a Blanche Devereaux and Samantha Jones from Sex and the City all smashed into one person constantly 24/7. It is just kind of exhausting. I couldn't imagine being a cast member on this show where Brynn's constantly making sex jokes, constantly trying to be sexy, constantly using that baby voice, and then has the nerve to look at us and say, well, it's not my fault you guys don't take me seriously as a career woman or as a professional. Why would we? All you do is talk about sex and flirting and getting with husbands and getting a husband, and I'm single. Why would we take you serious? But this week, what really kind of crossed the line for me was on this week's episode, on Tuesday's episode, Brynn actually made a really weird comment in her confession that she admitted to, saying that she talked to Uba and said that if Uba is going to keep her man, who is white, that she needed to not be the stereotypical angry black woman. And she said it behind closed doors with Aaron there, or it might have been Rebecca Minkoff. It might have been one of them who was in the room with her when she said it. And clearly no one thought it was a good comment because no one else brought it up in the scene when Uba was kind of getting angry. Brynn is the only one who brought it up in her confessional. And I don't know why Brynn would say this. Let's be 100% clear. Yes, Brynn is half black, but Brynn passes. And for those of you guys who don't know what that means, that Brynn passes, and if we were in New Orleans, they would call it passant blanc, is that Brynn looks white. If Brynn hadn't told any of us that she was biracial, none of us would known. And that's a really weird thing to have happen with biracial women. It's almost like the Meghan Markle thing. If someone hadn't told us that Meghan Markle was biracial, outside of the fact that she always has like a mixed parent on the show because she wants to always point that out, not point it out, but she wants to make sure that happens. We would have not known that Meghan Markle was mixed, half black, half white. There are certain mixed people who that's just what happens with their skin tone and their hair. The other thing that makes Brynn pass, is what they call it, passing, is that Brynn does not wear her natural hair. Not that that's not Brynn's real hair, it is, but she doesn't wear it ever in her natural state. I remember a scene from last year where Brynn was in the Hamptons and they had gotten wet or whatever, and Brynn's roots had started to curl up. And then the rest was straight, and she looked ridiculous. She looked so dumb, but she wanted to keep that whole I'm white and I can have my bangs in my face, so I'm just gonna keep it down and throw the breast up. That she didn't want to just wet her whole head and show, what happens when mixed girls wet their hair. It goes really, really, really tight coils, super curl, super coily. I have nieces who are mixed, and that's exactly what happens. Their hair gets a little bit wet after being straight. It goes from this long to this long in a matter of just a little bit of water. So, but Brandon passes. So her making that comment to Uba about not being the angry black woman or fitting into the stereotype makes everybody go, what do you know about that stereotype? This is a stereotype you've heard. And this is never a stereotype that you've seen in effect. I don't even think Brynn has black friends. Her hairstylist is black, that's great, but I don't think Brynn has black friends to really understand what a stereotypical, what that means as a stereotype to be an angry black woman. I don't think she gets that. So for her to say it, it sounded like she just heard it somewhere and was like, oh, well, Uba's getting mad, so we don't want her to be the angry black woman, but she's not. Uba does have an issue. I don't think Uba's issue is being angry. I think Uba's issue is being delegated to being a stupid model. And a lot of people don't talk about that. You know, when you're a model, you're not allowed to talk. You don't, your voice really doesn't matter. You're just here, you're pretty, they take pictures of you, you go on about your business. And I think in the show, Uba maybe was hired as, you know, oh, she's the model type. She's a beautiful black model, so she'll just be on here. And I think Uber really wants to show that I have a voice, I have an opinion, I'm on the show, and I'm a part of it, and that sometimes that comes off very aggressive. And I don't think that's her intention. I don't think she's angry. I think she's just trying to be heard, and she's having a hard time calling out Brynn for real stuff. She called Brynn a snake in the last episode, or the beginning of this episode. Brynn is a snake. That is not if, ands, or buts about it. We have watched Brynn go from person to person and dropping little hints and things, and that she's doing that Tamara thing of let me drop a little bit of something in somebody's ear instead of just having a whole conversation, or instead of owning up the things that she did, or and they always go with the line of, oh, well, I think you're fake because you won't say this. If I'm venting to a friend about another friend, that doesn't make me freak to that friend. I mean, something that friend did made me angry and frustrated, and I'm talking to you about it because you're a mutual person and you can agree with it. So Brynn, you know, kind of jumping on Uba like, you need to learn to use your words, or you need to do this. One, it was extremely condescending, which only made Uba more upset, rightfully so. And Uba just has a hard time. English is not her first language. And I'm not giving her an excuse. I do think she needs to deal with her emotions better. I do think she needs to get the chip off her shoulder about not being heard. But Brynn is not the person to give her that lesson. Um, I don't, Brynn doesn't know herself. It's almost like Brynn, being a mixed child, growing up in a white household, has no idea who she is, which is probably the reason why she can't keep a man or stay in a relationship. It's probably the reason why she hides behind this character that she saw in Sex and the City or Blanche Devereaux or any of these other sexy, flexy girls in these TV shows, because it's easier to hide behind a character and to admit the fact that I am a mixed girl who's straddling these two different cultures, one culture that I know nothing about, and I'm really too old to learn, and I don't know what to do with myself. You know, it's just it's I feel bad for Brynn. And now she's getting attacked, not getting attacked. People are commenting in her comment section about her calling Uba an angry black woman in the stereotype, and Uba helping Uba keep her white boyfriend and everything like that. And Brynn has turned off the comments. I think Brynn thought that everybody was going to continuously like the sexy persona that she puts on, and everybody's not feeling it. People don't think it's cute. People don't think it's fun, and people damn sure don't think it's entertaining. And I also don't like the fact that Brynn is constantly playing lesbian like it's a character, again, like it's a character she can do. Like it's fun to flirt with Jenna. It's fun to flirt with all these women, and it's just, ooh, you know, you're giving me a boner. Like it's just it's tacky and it's annoying. And you know, I wish Brynn had a little bit more layers to her. You know, her Meemaw passed. That was an interesting story. Her story about her father has passed. That's an interesting story. But I wish Brynn would you can bring outside friends on the show to show your outside life. She's bringing her brother on, but again, her brother also passes for white. These are two children who pass for white, who I think have lived in a white world as long as they can possibly have. And I think the only reason why Brynn is even having to acknowledge her black side is because she's being around other black people. Because I don't know if Sai is half Puerto Rican, half black, but last season, all Sai did was yell and get angry and get upset. And nobody stereotyped her, you know, whether it's the spicy, angry Latina or, you know, the angry black woman. No one stereotyped her. Brynn didn't. Everything was fine. So why are we doing it to Uba? You know, this is going to be a hard season for Brynn. I can already tell. You know, she's doing a lot of saying really mean things or really slick, condescending things, and then crying that she's a victim. Oh, why won't everybody be my friend? I don't understand. You don't understand why everybody won't be your friend? I can kind of understand it. And I'm not even I'm watching the show. I can see why people don't want to be your friend and don't want to deal with you. But I'm more thrown off by her, you know, just again, I wish Brynn could someone could talk to Brynn and help her understand what you passing means. As a woman who passes, it means that you have been allowed to just go about life as a white woman until someone asks you, like, oh, your hair is different. So you don't even understand the Black experience. So as a woman who doesn't understand the Black experience, what do you understand about the angry Black woman stereotype? You've never been called it before. I can hands down guarantee that you've never been called it before. You've never had to deal with it. So what do you know about it? What do you know about any of the stereotypes that we get called as Black women that are thrown upon us? That we're always somebody's baby's mama. That's a stereotype. Our features are this, our features are that. Like it's crazy to me that she wants to use that's the other thing she does too. She always wants to use the I'm a gangster, I'm hard, I'm a tough black woman, you're not gonna tell me nothing. But in reality, you don't know what any of these things are. She said last season at the reunion, I put people in the morgue. No, you don't. No, you don't, Brynn. Nobody is scared of you. Nobody believed it. Again, you're picking the character of the hood black girl because it's fitting you in that moment to go up against Uba. Like I said, she doesn't know who she is. She has no idea who she is. She is just existing, and everybody's supposed to give her grace and treat her like a child because she doesn't know who she is. Well, that's not Uba's problem. It's not anybody's problem. And it's hilarious to me that the white women on the show are coddling her so much. Sai's not, and Uba, the two black women, and even Jessel's kind of like, I don't know. But the two women of color outside of Jessel are holding her to the fire, basically like, we're not going to baby you. Everybody else babies you. Everybody else thinks it's cute. We don't think it's cute. We think it's annoying. We think it's frustrating. And you're stirring the pot and you're being condescending. And then you also want to come back in your face and be all like, I'm one of you. And you're not. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I don't think it's going to go great for Brynn if she's already 3 episodes in and she's already turned her comments off. Do I think it's going to be as bad as the Tamara situation? No, but I do think it's going to get pretty bad. So Brynn, tone it down, find a black friend, have a conversation, understand what you're doing and where this is going, and do better. I'm talking to her like she's going to watch this video. She's not, but still, do better. Okay? Drop into my comments. Let me know what you think. I mean, I could be wrong. I really don't think I am. As a black woman listening to this, so we'll see. I will talk to you guys in the next video.